Hey there affiliate schoolers, and welcome if you're new to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the Coffee Grind Guru case study and looking at the earnings for February and March. We'll also be looking at the traffic stats and the rankings. Now, the last time I gave you an update was at the end of January, after we just had a really good month for Jan and a really strong month for December. Now, things didn't go quite so well in February. Did they recover in March? Let's find out. Now, I am going to be keeping this video pretty short, so hopefully I won't take up too much of your time. And I'm doing this unscripted today, so if you can tell the difference between my previous videos that are pretty well scripted and this one, which is pretty much off the cuff, then let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know how your sites are getting on too. So let's kick off with the traffic stats, and like I said, January was probably the best month that Coffee Grind Guru has ever had, and with February being a shorter month, of course the traffic was likely to be lower. February wasn't too bad in terms of traffic. It had 4,255 hits, which compared to January was 26.65% lower, but of course there were 4 less days in the month. So January had 5,801. March had pretty similar traffic, a little bit more, 4,442 hits. However, comparing just to January probably isn't really that fair because it was such a strong month. So I thought, let's compare it to the first full month since I bought the site, which was May 2021. So if we do a comparison to May 2021, we can see that traffic, organic traffic, is actually up 142.3%. So back in May 2021, it had 1,833 organic hits compared to the 4,442 hits that it's had this month. So I'm pretty pleased with the progress that it's made in that kind of 11-month period. Next, if we take a look at the rankings, it's been a bit of a funny month this month because we are kind of midway through this latest Google product review update, which I've not seen too much movement on across the majority of my sites, except for 2 which are significantly up. I'd also love to hear how your sites are doing with regards to that product review update. If you've seen movement or haven't, please let me know in the comments down below. But what's been most pleasing really with the rankings for Coffee Grind Guru this month is some of the new content that has been published has really started to rank well without any new backlinks, which is indicating to me that it's starting to be seen as a little bit of an authority in the niche. So really what I'm looking at here is the current rank versus the rank where it was a month ago. I don't tend to pay too much attention to day-to-day fluctuations because they do jump around, particularly at the moment with the volatility around the product review update. But we've got some pretty strong rankings with this Spin Coffee Maker review and Spin Coffee Maker. You can see there's some good search volume there and we're performing very well for that. Unfortunately, Spin still haven't restarted their affiliate program, so it's not really doing a great deal for me. But when that comes back online, I expect that to do quite well. We've got some quite nice rankings for these products here, the Jura S8 and the Jura E8 review keywords. And then some of the new pages that have recently been published. So this Best Electric Percolators, that is a fairly new page. And you can see a month ago it was position 38 and that's in position 15. And then this Small Espresso Machines was literally published last week. It's got 4,400 search volume per month and it's in position 15 already, which is pretty incredible. We can also see that we've dropped some positions for some keywords. So the DeLonghi Ariete, the Keurig K Mini review has dropped a little bit, although it was around position 6 really a couple of months ago. So we did see an increase and then it's dropped a little. But what's pleasing is seeing these high volume keywords really starting to get some traction. Now, of course, those keywords aren't really earning any money yet. Until they get onto page 1, they're not going to generate a huge amount of traffic. But I think there's huge potential there for those keywords, and that's really where the potential for this website lies, in those page 2 and page 3 keywords with the high search volumes. Like I say, no links have been built to those pages yet, so as that starts to happen, we should start to see some nice upward movement and again see those revenues increase. So let's take a look at the earnings. Well, we can see here that in February, we actually had a decent number of clicks, almost 2,400 clicks, 184 ordered items, but we did have a number of returns, which was probably off the back of Christmas and then those January sales. Total earnings were $242, which if we compare to the month before is significantly down. In January, we actually had over $400 in commissions, and we run a couple of programs on Share a Sale with Volcanica Coffee and Koa Coffee, and those commissions came in at $26.63. You can see we get 10% commission on those products. Then if we take a look at March, we can see that commissions increased significantly again on Amazon with a total of $367.41. And we can see here there's a big outlier where in one day we made $122.92. And if we look at the products that we sold in that month, you can actually see that that Jura S8 automatic coffee machine that we looked at the rankings for before is actually worth $2,700. So we actually made $120 off that one single sale. Now, if we go back to Share a Sale, we can see that in March we made $18.30 from Volcanica Coffee and nothing from Koa Coffee. So overall, we've seen the commissions bounce back for March after a pretty poor February. And actually, if we look at the Amazon commissions alone, March is actually the second highest month that it's ever had, even beating December. And I think that's because the rankings are so much stronger now. We've got those high ticket items on page 1 with those Jura review keywords. And I think that's really what I need to double down on to push those commissions higher still. In terms of costs for the last couple of months, I've tried to keep them fairly minimal. So there's been a little bit of link building going on in Feb and in March, just a couple of links. And obviously the hosting expenses are around $10. And then content, again, just a couple of articles, $60 and $50 worth of costs. So we are actually in profit now with this site, which is great to see. So the next steps really for this project are to try and keep the costs as low as possible, of course. Of course, try and increase the commissions by focusing on those higher ticket value items. And the aim really is still to sell the site within the next 3 to 6 months or so. Once we get past that 12-month mark, which is pretty close now, I think it was April, early May when I took the site on. Now, like I said, February was a particularly tough month. I'd be interested to know if you guys experienced lower revenues in February. I certainly did, and not just on Coffee Grind Guru, but on my main 2 money sites, to the point where January earnings were around the £9,000 GBP mark, and they dropped to about 5.5 in February and then dropped to about 5,200 in March. Luckily, those 2 sites have benefited from the recent update. I also put a theme change on one of those sites the day before the product review update came out, which was pretty bad timing, but obviously I couldn't have foreseen the update coming out. And those sites have bounced back really well for this month. In fact, they've already made over £2,000 within the first 5 days of April. So I'm hoping that that is going to get back to the £9,000 to £10,000 per month mark. But the reason I bring this up is because someone left a comment on one of the other Coffee Grind Guru case studies earlier, talking about panicking when rankings drop or traffic drops. Now, my experience generally in SEO and with affiliate marketing or niche websites is that you have to kind of stick to your guns. You have to have that faith in what you're doing, and that really, I think, is what's rewarded me with those 2 sites, that I kind of just stuck to what I was doing. Yes, I did change the theme because I wanted to look for some Core Web Vital improvement. But in terms of the content, in terms of my approach to link building, in terms of my approach to showing expertise, authority and trustworthiness, that's all been the same. and it has bounced back incredibly strongly. And some of you will remember that I did put out that my aim for this 12 months was to be at 20k per month by the end of the year. So when I started seeing 5,500 for my two big sites, that was a concern. But I'm nowhere near the 20k yet, but hopefully this month with my portfolio of sites, I should be getting to about the 12,000 a month mark. And one of the ways in which I'm aiming to reach my target is using aged domains. Now, I've got two brand new aged domain projects that I've just started, one of which I'm documenting in this case study here. So be sure to watch that, follow that playlist, because this one could be extremely profitable if it takes off. Guys, thank you very much for watching and good luck with your own projects.